The night he showed up at his wife's house, breaking his restraining order, was the final unraveling of a man who had already lost everything. His world had crumbled piece by piece. He had lost everything: his wife, his job, his reputation. And now, with nothing left, he arrived at her doorstep, drunk and desperate. When the police arrived, he was past reason. In his drunken, hysterical state, he blamed me for the ruin of his marriage and his life, and threatened to take his own life. The officers restrained and arrested him as he slurred his admission to running me over with his car in his attempt to make me pay for ruining his life. With attempted murder added to his other charges, DUI, violation of restraining order, abuse, harassment, and assault, he was denied bail and now awaits his court hearing. Days after Ryan's arrest, Hannah's father reached out to me, asking to meet alone. I had always respected him, and despite everything that had happened, I agreed to meet him. We sat together in a small, quiet cafe. Hannah hadn't reached out since I'd asked her to leave at the hospital, but her father wanted to provide insight into her silence. He explained that he and her mother had asked her to stop contacting me, to protect me from further pain. He described how she had finally begun to comprehend the full extent of the damage she had caused, how deeply she'd hurt me by letting someone like Ryan into our lives. He acknowledged that what she had done was nearly unforgivable, yet, as her father, he understood her remorse. Hannah's remorse, he said, hadn't truly surfaced until the accident. Only then had she come to see the life-shattering consequences of her betrayal, recognizing that she had played a role in bringing unimaginable harm to me. She had confessed to her father that she would do anything to make things right, even if that meant divorce, forfeiting her rights to the house, or leaving my life entirely. She had even used the word abuse to describe what she had done to me, which took her father by surprise, who realized it had taken this attack for her to fully accept responsibility for all the things that she had done. Her dad wanted me to be aware of this new revelation, to help me make an informed decision. He asked me if I could ever find it in me to forgive Hannah and give her a second chance. I needed him to understand why reconciliation felt impossible, so I asked him if he had ever cheated on his wife, or if she had cheated on him. He said no, neither of them had. I told he could never truly understand, then, what it was like to have the person you once trusted with your life tear you apart and betray you. I went on to recount everything Hannah had done, each betrayal that she had chosen, step by step. She'd had countless opportunities to stop the affair, and she hadn't. Even after I'd found out, she continued to protect Ryan, even lying that I had assaulted her to save him, when in fact he had hurt her. And worst of all, she had killed our baby, a child that could have been mine. She had deliberately chosen to dismantle my life, one piece at a time, seemingly without remorse. Then I asked him, pointedly, if his wife had done all of this to him, would he be able to take her back? He said no, he wouldn't. And he understood why I could never take Hannah back. Before he left, he thanked me for meeting him and assured me he would never tell Hannah that we'd spoken. Since the accident, even my own parents had stopped urging me to consider reconciliation. They, too, had come to grasp the enormity of what she'd done and the danger she had exposed me to by bringing Ryan into our lives. The OBS is doing all right, all things considered. Her mom is still staying with her while she awaits the court proceedings. Given Ryan's criminal charges, her lawyer is confident about expediting her divorce, bypassing the usual year-long separation required. She plans to move back to her hometown to be near her family. As for me, I am in contact with my lawyer. Everything is going according to plan, and I am relieved to learn that Hannah would not contest the divorce. I can now focus on rebuilding my life. Epilogue. 5 years later. Hannah stayed true to her word and never reached out to me again. We finalized the divorce just over a year after our separation. The last time I visited my parents, they mentioned they'd run into Hannah's parents at an event. They told me she had moved back in with her family shortly after the divorce and had since been helping care for her father, who is very ill. They said she was a completely changed person now, attending therapy and making efforts to improve. But despite her efforts, she hadn't managed to sustain a relationship. She'd had a few casual dates, but they'd ended as soon as she revealed the reason for her divorce. It was like and subscribe for part 2.